found that coloured papers offered a shortcut. Perhaps produced at the end of a day's exploring or back in his London studio, I find these works electrifying. The blue paper, some of it certainly purchased when he was abroad, as watermarks tell us, and the richer pigment of the gouache, that thicker body colour I was talking about, provided an irresistible combination for well over a decade, probably because of the economy. You think of a blue sky day, rather than have to put that blue in yourself, you use the blue of the paper and use the colour on top of that. But what colour he does use. And looking at these in a little bit more detail in preparation for this talk, I'd always thought of these as private musings for Turner, reflecting on his European travels, but actually this one that's on by the Ashmolean up here was in preparation for a print. And I wonder just what the printmaker would have made of that blue paper sketch. It was quite an uncommon thing to hand over a work on blue paper to a printmaker. But its aesthetic takes us on leaps and bounds into the future. It wasn't just blue paper that Turner drew on. This work from Venice is a brown buff-coloured paper that he's used for a nighttime scene. Again, that shortcut to darkness. And he's used a very dramatic composition again, dotted with stars. And Venice, in around 1840, the effect on Turner was transformative. He was utterly beguiled by the place, and something special happened, because you know how I said he didn't really like to use colour when he was on his travels because pencil was much quicker. Well, suddenly in Venice he slowed down and started to use colour in a way that he'd never before. So this is done from the roof of his hotel, this sunrise, and it's a technique known as charging, where you wet through the paper and then drop wet pigment from your brush onto that. But it produces this lovely molten effect of the sunlight through clouds. And this is one of my favourites of all time, the lagoon at Venice. Venice was a place that an artist could have a very good time indeed with the nightlife there. And it was a popular, marketable subject, made famous by Byron, and had a kind of frisson, an appeal there. But Turner's visit, as I said, inspired something quite special. But indeed, the whole of Italy had a transformative effect on his work, both in oil and in watercolour. This was one that we were lucky enough to borrow in 2008. Oops. And here I've put this slide together of Turner's treatment of Ullswater over the years, which shows, there's Ullswater in real life, shows the transformative effect of Italian horizons and Italian atmospheric conditions, moving from effectively Britain to Umbria, but still staying in Ullswater, which is quite remarkable. And in the 3 years that I lived here, maybe others here can tell me I'm wrong, but I never saw Ullswater looking so warm and heavenly, though at times I'm sure it does. But as well as these sketchbooks full of information, it was that memory for the kind of warmth and the beauty of the landscape that he then started to inject onto the British landscape, giving it a kind of otherworldly feel. So his travels on the continent took his work to new coloristic horizons. But in actual fact, and in these cases, here we are, Ullswater, a little bit larger, and in Windermere, the end results were prints. While it's bigger, I should point out these long sunlit shadows, this kind of pastel colouring. It's all, if you look at his work from Italy, the Campagna, that's the colours he draws on. I show that Roman one, and these very skinny, kind of parched looking cows, and even the people in the foreground, they have a kind of European feel. And again, the effect is similar in this Manchester watercolour of Windermere.